Killers. This evening, Un Yang attended a vigil in our area to remember Matthew Shepard.
This thing's got to stop. Something's got to be done.
It seems to be, a hate crime, pure and simple.
No American should die the way that young kid died.
The death of Matthew Shepard has triggered a strong response from the gay community in Washington. A small group gathered in front of the Lincoln Memorial for a candlelight vigil, denouncing his attack as a hate crime.
Enough is enough. They can pass laws to impeach the president. Well, heck, if they can do that, they can surely pass a law that says any crime committed of this nature is a hate crime.
We're asking for the simple consideration of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness according to where we live and who we are as Americans and as human beings.
It was taken away innocently for no reason at all, and that's why we're here.
DuPont Circle may be nothing like Laramie, Wyoming, but even here in this diverse area, some say they're still not immune to this kind of violence.
Could it happen here? Most definitely. I mean, I've had 3 friends that it's happened to since I've moved here. Happened to me 4 years ago. Was assaulted and pressed charges, and it didn't go anywhere because they wouldn't consider it a hate crime.
People have a right to live their life any way that they want to, and the people who committed that crime need to be punished, and severely punished.
Matthew Shepard's death has refocused attention on issues of hate and violence.
Hallowed be thy name.
And while gays and straights are calling for more action against hate crimes, they say they need time to remember an innocent man who was apparently killed because he was gay.
The child that was brutally killed for no reason, just for the fact that he was gay.
The suspects in Shepard's killing, 22-year-old Aaron McKinley and 21-year-old Russell Henderson, are both troubled high school dropouts from broken homes. Last Wednesday, a passerby found Matthew Shepard tied to this fence near Laramie, Wyoming, badly beaten and left for dead. Organizers of the candlelight vigil at the Capitol say the nation needs a uniform approach to handle hate crimes.
Hate crimes legislation is one of the most important things that we can possibly get.
Tom Donegan and Mark Weinrich share a special attachment to Matt Shepard. They suffered a similar attack, leaving DuPont Circle on the evening of August 6, 1990. Their assailants were 2 teenagers.
This car drove by and said, called us faggots. And we said, please don't call us faggots. And they said, we kill faggots.
Being a gay person, you get called names periodically. It just happens. And we did take, as they drove off, we took the tag number and we looked for a police car.
As we walked down P Street, we found some friends and we started talking to them on the street. And out of nowhere came these 2 guys running across the street, one with a billy club screaming, we kill faggots, we kill faggots. And
immediately he swung this club at my head. The other one hit Tom at that point.
At which point the crowd jumped in and sort of saved us. I mean, we're really grateful that those people really saved our lives.
Tom and Mark say they were lucky not only that the crowd saved them from the same fate as Matt Shepard, but that their assailants were charged with hate crimes because the attack occurred in the district. But they say the irony is, now that they've moved to Virginia, the law doesn't protect gays there. Doreen?
Chris Gordon, thank you. Currently, there is a federal hate crime law, but it doesn't cover sexual orientation unless the crime is committed on federal property. Maryland has a hate crime law. It covers crimes against a person because of race, color, religion, or national origin, but again, not because of sexual orientation. Virginia's hate crime law covers race and religion, but not sexual orientation or national origin. The district has the toughest hate crime law in our area. It covers what's called bias-related crimes. It covers criminal acts against people because of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, and disability.
A private funeral for
less than a week after he was attacked. Fox 5's Will Thomas begins our team coverage from Capitol Hill, the site of a candlelight vigil tonight. Will?
Good evening, Lark. More than 100 people from throughout the Washington metro area gathered here on the west side of the Capitol to mourn the death of Matthew Shepard. He was an openly gay college student savagely beaten last week. Gay rights groups are calling it a hate crime, and police admit his sexuality may have played a factor. In just a moment, we'll hear from some of the mourners at tonight's vigil as they call for tougher hate crime laws. But first, we want to bring you up to date on the crime that resulted in the death of Matthew Shepard, an openly gay political science student at the University of Wyoming. A brutal ending for Matthew Shepard, pistol whipped and tied to this Wyoming fence post in near freezing conditions. He was discovered 12 hours later. The 21-year-old was beaten so badly, those who found him first thought he was a scarecrow. Matthew Shepard died after 5 days on life support, his parents at his side.
Matthew's mother said to me, "Please tell everybody who's listening to go home and give your kids a hug. And don't let a day go by without telling them that you love them."
2 young men are expected to face first-degree murder charges in connection with Shepard's death, an openly gay student at the University of Wyoming. Police say the 2 suspects lured Shepard outside this college bar, pretending to be gay. Shepard reportedly flirted with one of the suspects, but investigators say the primary motive for the attack was robbery.
If all we feel is outrage, we have not found a remedy. If we don't feel ashamed and we don't change, if we don't speak out for truth, we will not preserve the values that have been important to America.
The 2 suspects, Russell Henderson and Eric McKinney, now face charges of murder, kidnapping, and aggravated robbery. Their girlfriends are charged with being accessories after the fact. Now, once again, the crime that resulted in the death of Mr. Shepard is now actually renewing discussions about tougher laws here on the Hill, tougher hate crime laws. Now, a moment ago, you saw some of the mourners that gathered at tonight's vigil. Now let's hear what a few of them have to say.
Special rights is not what this is about. It's about just basic civil rights, and Matthew Shepard was killed because people didn't recognize him as being simply a human being.
We need a hate crimes prevention act. We need it now, and we're looking to Congress to do this. And if they don't do it, there's a referendum. I mean, the votes are due November 3rd, and we will show them. We will talk to them before, and we'll vote in the voting booth in November.
I don't know Matthew. I don't know his parents, and yet we have a kinship with each other. I know that. I'm a mother, and I share that with other mothers.
This Wednesday, a similar vigil here at the Capitol on the West Steps, this one organized by the Human Rights Campaign. Once again, 7 o'clock Wednesday, the West Steps of the Capitol. Comic actress Ellen DeGeneres is expected to attend. We're live at the Capitol. I'm Will Thomas. Lark, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Will. And more on this story. President Clinton is condemning the brutal attack on Matthew Shepard. Before leaving for a fundraising trip to New York, the president called on Congress to pass a federal hate crimes law.
I hope that in the grief of this moment for Matthew Shepard's family and in the shared outrage across America, Americans will once again search their hearts and do what they can to reduce their own fear and anxiety and anger at people who are different. And I hope that Congress will pass the hate crimes legislation.
22 states and the district have hate crime laws which include crimes based on sexual orientation. 18 states have hate crime laws that do not include sexual orientation. 10 states, including Wyoming, do not have any hate crime laws at all.
Students at the University of Maryland say